What's good, guys? It's AYN Tech here with a no BS review of the Logitech G Cloud. My goal with these reviews is to keep them as quick and concise as possible while still providing you with everything you need to know in order to make the right purchase. So, after watching and reading many other reviews, I've come to notice that the gaming community generally does not like this device, and I understand why. But I also believe that this is a pretty damn good product. Yes, it's overpriced, but still a great product. So let's get more in depth on this handheld and dive right on into the device itself. When you first grab hold of the G Cloud, you can tell Logitech has definitely been in the tech game for a while. The ergonomics are great and the product just really feels strong and solid. I have had a much better unboxing experience with the G Cloud in comparison to the Steam Deck. I just thought there was something special about it. Taking a look at the size and weight, it is fractionally heavier than the Switch, but it's a fair bit smaller and lighter than the Steam Deck. And as far as specs go, it comes with 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of internal storage. The G Cloud doesn't need much storage as its main use is for cloud gaming. But if you want to expand your memory for more emulators and games, you have a slot to insert a micro SD card, which you can buy pretty cheap nowadays. It's running Android 11, and personally, I quite like the interface and the aesthetic of it. It's very easy to navigate for casual gamers, but it has some shortcomings for those that are more experienced. It's basically just an easy to pick up and go handheld. Not much tinkering will ever be needed with this. The G Cloud contains a beautiful 7-inch 1080p IPS display with 95% color accuracy. The screen is definitely noticeably better than the Steam Deck, and it was the first thing that I noticed and was quite impressed with when I started gaming. Another thing that's very impressive is the battery. It can easily last up to 12 hours when you're cloud streaming games. Emulation, of course, will drain the battery a little bit quicker, but I still find myself charging the G Cloud a lot less than the Steam Deck. So, when you are streaming and emulating games, the device is totally silent, and I haven't felt it overheat a single time while using it. Whereas, the Steam Deck can get quite loud and warm. With that being said, the G Cloud simply never will be able to get pushed to the limits of the Steam Deck. But let's continue that conversation on emulation. The G Cloud, like I said, it was marketed as a cloud streaming device where you play games through your Xbox rather than downloading and playing games directly on the handheld. And it does this very well. But personally, I rarely use this feature because if I'm going to play on the Xbox, I'll just go to the console itself. I have simply no need to bring the Xbox into bed unless, I'm trying to get my girlfriend to break up with me, and at this point, that is, let's just say that's not the goal. As far as emulation goes, though, it's an absolute breeze getting retro games and emulators onto this device. It also performs very well considering it does have an older processor. It's more than capable of emulating N64, PSP, PS Vita, PlayStation 1, Sega, and more. But where you start to run into issues is when you're gaming, maybe PS2 or GameCube games. That's where I noticed it started to bug out and glitch out a little bit. So I believe I have pretty much covered the most important aspects of this review, but let's just wrap everything up and make things crystal clear. What I would say is that the Logitech G Cloud is that it's definitely a really good product. It performs what it was marketed to do flawlessly. The emulation is better than expected, but the one thing holding it back is the price. There are simply better options out there in the handheld gaming niche that cost less money. And if you're really serious about handheld gaming, then personally, I recommend spending a little more money and buying a Nintendo Switch or a Steam Deck. For some people, this will be the perfect addition to their gaming setup, but for others, it might be a bit of a waste. So I hope you've enjoyed this no BS review, and please leave a comment with your thoughts on the Logitech G Cloud or any other handheld device you might want to buy. And hey, subscribe for more tech content. Thanks for watching. This was AYN Tech. Peace out. Woo!